Hello, folks. This is Old Freedom. Let's come back to you. Just this quick vid on what we're seeing here, not only in America, in the whole world. The righteousness of God is being forsaken for a lie. And I just want to tell you, there's no sin like a sex sin. And the name of this is, God calls it abominations, like ancient Rome, like America. I just want to tell you something. You know we're in trouble. Now, I'm not picking out any particular sin. God calls everything sin. Everything that is against the will of God is a sin. But there is no sin like a sex sin. And there are some sins that are an abomination. As we see, you know we're in trouble, but we have the president and people in Washington standing up for sexual immorality and calling it good. But the word of God says, woe to them who call evil good and good evil. That also is an abomination. Read your Old Testament. I'm not going to tell you where to put it. Read your word. Read the word of God. The Bible. I just want to tell you something. Every devastating law that they make is going to attack someone. And it affects the men in their life. They're saying that not only just black, 50% of all women are raising children by themselves. But now in the African American races, you know that 72% of the children are born to a single parent household, and that single parent is a woman. And they're saying that affects the boys in the life. I mean, it's just a long scientific article. You should, wow. But I just want to read to you what God calls an abomination. Turn to Leviticus chapter 18, verse 23. Neither shalt thou lie with any beast to defile thyself therewith. Neither shall any woman stand before a beast to lie down thereto. It is confusion. That's an abomination. I'd like to discuss one thing for you. Just like ancient Rome. Do you know ancient Rome was so disgusted and perverted that a lot of it was too sickening to even look at some of the Caesars. Look at them. You know they raised boys up. I think they called them, it was just too disgusting to read, minnows. Could you believe that? The sole purpose of these little boys were to have sex with adult men. And there's just all kind of filthy, vile, and disgusting. See, let me tell you something. One abomination make room for another one. That's the way it was in ancient Rome. That's why I said, like ancient Rome, like America, and America's going down the same road. You have to remember, the thing that you were taught, even the people who weren't, shall I say, children of God, a lot of people were decent, especially in the older days, you know, like a few decades ago. Everything that you were taught now seemed to be a lie about decency, morality, and looking out for your fellow man. Everything now is a lie. Just look at some of these politicians, the laws that they're pushing and what they stand for. Now the president's standing up for same-sex marriages. God called that an abomination. Now am I blasting homosexuality? I said God calls it a sin, but He loves the person. Do you understand that? This is how much trouble we're in. They've left the Word of God. Do you understand that? They've turned their backs on God. And we're going down the wrong road. Forget the poor, the fatherless, the sick, turning towards ungodliness. Let me read you something else. What an abomination is. What God calls an abomination. Leviticus chapter 20, verse 13. If a man also lie with mankind as he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. Now this is Old Testament. That's in the law. This is in the grace. Because Christ at the cross, we're in the grace. Don't get me wrong, a sin is still a sin. An abomination is still an abomination in the eyes of God. But Christ went to the cross for sinners. Do you understand that? My friend, we're living in troublesome times. We're living in a time now that is an absolute pulling away from God. Is a lie. That's why, the void of righteousness, the void of godliness, even in our school children. That's why if you notice now, even the children are being shot down, blown up and everything. Do you know, it was so bad in ancient Rome, and it wasn't like that. I'm not talking about, this is nothing, there's nothing new under the sun, the Bible says. And we can see that. You don't even have to read the Bible. Just look at some of the authors from ancient times. Excuse me, got a little tongue-tied. Read what Josephus said. They're just scores. All you have to do is Google it and tell you how how perverted and sick and deranged some of those ancient religions are. And what they would do, having their own children to pass through the fire. And a lot of them had temples and orgies. See, a lot of those people, you had to have real perverse sexual relations in these temples to satisfy these demonic gods. And some of those ancient lands and their customs and kingdoms. And see, that's why I say America is going down the same road of ungodliness. And there's no sin like a sexual sin. What's an abomination to God in the beginning is an abomination in the end. And like I said, one abomination makes room for another one. You get more further and further out of hand. They were having sex with animals, children, animals, and everything else. See, this, all it takes is just one to start. Once they start getting you a laugh at these weird things in commercials and television series, that's a form of introducing you to that. Remember, Satan is the prince of the powers of the air. You understand that? He took what God, the knowledge that God gave man, and used it for his own self. See, that's why I said the church is not where it is today. Instead of teaching man about prosperity, you teach them about Christ and the cross and righteousness and godliness, without which no man will see the Lord. Remember, if God before you, he's more than the whole world against you. Just because 999 people do it, don't you do it. It's still wrong in the eyesight of God, and it forever will be. Stand for righteousness. All is necessary for evil to triumph, and for good people like you to sit down and say and keep your mouth closed. I don't care if Obama doesn't like it. If it's wrong, it's wrong. You're fighting for something that God hates. Do I hate people? I don't hate anybody. But I love what God loves and I hate what God hates. And I dislike what God dislikes. Stand for righteousness. Stand for holiness. And just look, there are a lot of different things that are about, even, let me read you, turn to Proverbs. Turn to Proverbs chapter 17, verse 15. He that justifieth the wicked, and he that condemneth the just, even they both are abominations to the Lord. Do you understand it? Calling good evil and evil good. No, it's not sin to do that. That's not an abomination. You're just fine because President this one, or this congressman, or this Republican, or this Democrat said so. I don't care who it is. It's wrong. All, like I said, and I'll say it before. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. All it takes for evil to triumph is for godly, real children of God to sit down, bite their tongue, and say nothing. That's why you can literally see the great falling away. Look what's being taught in our churches. Most of these people don't have any kind of relationship with God at all. Only time God hears from them when you want something or you need something. See, that's why you don't see the miracles today like you used to, like you read in the Bible. I am a miracle, I know. See, a lot of those people, when they prayed, they had a relationship with God and they prayed all the time. not just when they wanted something. They said, well, a lot of the pastors only pray 5 or 6 minutes or something like that. It was a study done. That's not going to help you. Not much. God bless you, and fight the good fight of faith and stay strong.